What is going on, friends? I'd like to welcome you to another episode of South Bay Sports Radio. On this episode, I'm joined by South Torrance baseball coach Grady Sain, who recently walked from Torrance to Dodger Stadium. Let's tune in. How did this all come together?
So we all kind of really connected through our kids in youth sports and have just kind of, along the way become obviously very good friends. We're all connected in that respect. And then also through the community as a few of the guys live in the same neighborhood. So post COVID, we just started kind of working out together and in the mornings. And, with the effect of with the purpose of, you know, uh, getting healthy, right? We're all kind of reaching that age where we're kind of approaching 50 or somewhere in our 50s. And, we wanted to kind of really, put ourselves into fitness. And it's kind of like this group of guys that are friends, but it's kind of like like a brotherhood in a way, it's like you belong to a team. And we all kind of have sports backgrounds and such. So it kind of originated there. And the group's kind of grown since. And we do these Friday walks as part of our Monday through Friday workout, right? So we meet right down there in kind of seaside area, and about 5:30, and we walk through the Riviera down to the Esplanade, and then we walk all the way down to Burl, and that's the halfway point. Then we come back, and so it's like 7.25 miles or so, and it takes a good hour and I don't know, hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes for us to do it. And then, we've got about sometimes there's 13 or 14 guys that jump on board. And so, we've kind of gotten together and done some things just as a group. But this past, what was it, Super Bowl, we did the Redondo 10K walk. And, we all did that 5K, 10K, but we went into the 10K and we did the walk. And we walked from, down there in the Riviera, or down there from Seaside area all the way down, did the 10K, had a blast. And then we walked all the way back. And as we were kind of pulling into the house, one of the guys was like, "Oh, we just hit the 13-mile mark." And then one of the guys, I don't know, probably Adam said, "Hey, it's only another, 10 miles to Dodger Stadium." And, it kind of piqued everybody's interest, and we should do a Dodger walk. And so Adam kind of put the wheels in motion, and then it, became this thing that we were all kind of targeting, and we did.
What time did you wake up yesterday?
Four.
And then what time did you guys start walking?
So we met at Adams at 4:45 and 5 sharp. Yeah, we started walking at 5 o'clock sharp.
Where did you start, and then how would you describe the landscape of LA to somebody unfamiliar?
Yeah, we that's good. We start right there in Seaside Ranchos area at Adams' house, and we traveled kind of down Anza to Hawthorne and then by El Camino. Just took Redondo Beach Boulevard all the way to Vermont. It was quiet, obviously early in the morning, not a lot of traffic, which made it great. It's cool. We had a police escort because we were kind of we were walking for the Charity Foundation flag. And so they provided us with a police escort, and they met us at Vermont and Redondo Beach Boulevard. So that was awesome because they were able to kind of hold intersections and allow us to kind of go through. And it really kind of sped our pace up. So they were a game changer in terms of the, I guess the rhythm of the walk, because we had planned to get in Dodger Stadium in anywhere 6.5 hours, something or other, something like that. And we actually ended up making it to Dodger Stadium at 10:56, which kind of blew our minds because we didn't anticipate that. But obviously walking down, Vermont and Figueroa, it's a little bit different. It's a different experience, different experience.
The other guys that joined you, I saw Brent Kuykendall, and I
Yeah.
saw other faces that I know, but who else was on the walk with you?
Oh man, we had gosh, let me try and just kind of go down the list. Eddie Freeman, our daughters have played soccer together forever. And she's the goalie on South soccer team. And Enyo Chiappa, Jimbo McKechnie. We had Tom Fitzpatrick. We had Jason Kiyahara, who we know as Shaka. We had Sean McDonald, whose daughters play softball here at South. We had Dan, and his daughter just graduated. Dan Meyer, his daughter just graduated from South. Was attending SLO. Who else? I'm probably gonna whiff on a few. One sec. Oh, Owen Ryan, who's another, one of the dads that son played football at South, and rugby as well. Doggone, I'm probably just drawing blank here in terms of who else.
So,
David Borenstein, whose daughters play at South here.
so you get to the stadium, you meet up with the wives.
Yeah, they took the party bus down there, so we know we weren't going to be able to walk back. That's for certain.
How would you describe this experience?
It was an experience of a lifetime, really. I mean, just kind of obviously setting your mind to do something that seems completely overwhelming. I think by the time we hit USC is when we kind of caught our second wind, because it was a long way just to get to there. But we hit there, and then the energy of the area kind of lifted us up too, because now at that point in time, it's a little bit, I don't know if it's later in the morning, but it's call it 9 in the morning. And, so there's more people walking around. And so as we're walking 12 guys with a Dodger flag and a shovel to the head flag that we, it's the logo that we created for ourselves. We were getting cheered along through the intersections and such. So that definitely gave us energy. And then into downtown by just past the convention center, crypto, into downtown, almost LA Live, there's a lot more foot traffic. So that was a fun experience, just to kind of have, part of that, people in the community walking around and kind of cheering you on and such, and a lot of Go Dodger chants. So I mean, next thing you knew from USC, it was like, all of a sudden we're heading left up Sunset, and we're less than a mile from Vince Scully Avenue. So it was awesome. Then walking up Vince Scully, it's a little bit of a hill to end, and then as you reach the peak of that hill, then all of a sudden you're right, you see the gates of Dodger Stadium, and it's like, yes, that was amazing feeling.
So you almost walk a marathon.
This group, man, this group likes challenges, and so it was 24 miles as we entered the gates of Dodger Stadium, and the guys said, hey, we need to walk a marathon. We're this close. We got to at least say that we did 26.2. So as tired as we were, we walked a lap around Dodger Stadium and zigzagged a little bit and reached 26.2 before we met up the wives at the party bus. So we actually did end up walking the distance of a marathon.
Is there a marathon in your future?
I don't know. I wouldn't count it out with this group. I don't know about running it, but who knows? I mean, that's kind of the style of this group, that things just kind of evolve, and so we'll have to see what the next one, brings, but I wouldn't count that out.
Let's go into this season. How would you describe this season, knowing you guys make it into the playoffs, Division 4? Yeah. Your record is doesn't tell the story of your season.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we have a really good club, and we had, we have really good pitching and a ton of returning innings on the mound, and a good combination of athleticism and some power in our lineup. And we started out really well, playing some good baseball, and then we just kind of hit a midseason skid, and just we're kind of spinning our wheels, not getting what we needed at times in the game, and so we just kind of struggled a little bit, and our schedule or our record really reflected that. But there was always that understanding that, look, we just got to battle through it, because baseball is just such a grind, and what you think you should be, sometimes you're not, and you've just got to really work and trust and find ways to get yourself right back to where you need to be at the appropriate time. So I felt like in the second half we started to build, started to get better at certain things, and started getting what we needed within the baseball games to control a little bit more and come through when we needed to. And we always felt like, hey, getting in that playoffs, we're going to be a dangerous team, much as we were the last few years. And so, that's kind of where we are now. We feel like, we kind of really have an understanding of who we are as a ball club. We know that pitching is going to be front and center. We have the ability to play really solid defense. And I feel like lately it's shown up, and we haven't made as many mistakes. And, starting to be pretty stingy in terms of allowing production on the other side of the ball. And then, offensively, we've got capabilities. So, yeah, just starting to kind of put it together a little bit more. And like I said, we know that we have a really good opportunity in front of us here as we go into round two.
We are going to transfer into rapid fire. 5 questions. Let's have a little fun.
Yeah, okay.
Who are some of your favorite baseball players of all time?
So Tony Gwynn, definitely. Oh man, I grew up, back then in the day, and my dad, kind of raised me in baseball, and you're talking about the players like Pete Rose, and obviously followed the Dodgers a lot. I just remember going to games as a kid, 5, 6, 7 years old, and talking about Steve Garvey and Ron Say and Davey Lopes and the infield there. And so I got a lot of memories of kind of the Dodgers in that time period there in the 80s and such. But I have to go with a hitter, man. Tony Gwynn was my favorite.
Your least favorite baseball team?
Padres.
Favorite baseball movie?
Sandlot.
South Bay musical artist that is your number one?
Ooh. Have to go with Pennywise.
Your go-to South Bay eatery and your favorite dish there?
Oh, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. All right. Well, I'm going to go with not necessarily something to eat, but I'm going to go with the Crow's Nest at Tony's, and you got to get a fire chief.
Deal. Awesome. I appreciate you, Coach. That's great. Thanks, Grady.
Talk to me.
Thanks for sticking around. While you're at it, what part of this episode was your favorite? Until our next adventure, see you next time.